Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Saturday Night's Apocalypse. Thanks for joining us this lovely Saturday afternoon. Two of us at least had a long day at the beach before us, and I'm a little sunburned. And we're here to have fun and play D&D after heat exhaustion. So if I fall asleep halfway through this game, I need someone to volunteer to keep going for me. All right, RJ, good.
Real nap hours, just real nap hours.
No, it's gonna be good. I got energy. I got my drink. I think I'm good to go. We'll see how long that lasts for. Thank you everyone out there for joining us today. We're gonna be playing some shotguns and sorcery, and continuing kind of reaching the last leg of our Princess of the Apocalypse campaign-ish run. So super excited for that. We'll get to our recap here in a second, but if you are interested in other things that we're doing here on the channel, which of course you are, why else would you be here? You can join us tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern time for our next installment of Slaying 101, which Savannah runs. We're in a very dramatic moment of that. I'll let Savannah talk about that if she wants to, but definitely come join us tomorrow for that session. The rest of our schedule this week should be normal, I believe. I don't think we have any planned schedule changes, so if you want to see what we've got going on, scroll down below our faces if you're watching us live on Twitch, and you can see our full lineup of shows for the next 7 days. And if you're watching us at YouTube some point in the future, hope you're doing all right. Hope we're all doing all right. And head over to our Twitch channel and you can see everything that we've got going on right now. Sorry, did I just give everyone an existential crisis talking to our future YouTube viewers?
Nah, I was already there. I've been there all day, baby.
But what if we're not doing all right?
Heads or tails, it's 50-50.
They won't know because they're watching this.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Hey, check on us.
Check on us. One other thing I'll promote is because some of us are repping, our GGK merch store is up. Has been for a little bit. Yeah.
By flying ready to die.
RJ's got his shirt. I've got mine on too, just the simple GGK logo. A lot of us have been wearing stuff during our streams. If you are interested in purchasing any of this cool swag for yourself, you can click the link in the chat, which just came up, and you can buy the fun stuff that's there. There's tank tops, t-shirts, hoodies, some mugs, all sorts of fun things, and everything goes to supporting our channel. So yeah. I think that's basically it for announcements, so I'm going to turn things over to my players for a hot second, talk about anything they've got going on in their lives, anything they want to plug or promote, and who they're playing here today, starting with Savannah.
It's me. Hi, I'm Savvy. I'm at Savvy Seaworth on the internets, mostly on Twitter, where you can find my streaming schedule pinned to the top of my page. I'm here Thursdays through Saturdays, either playing in games or running them. Like Val said, I run our long-running Monster of the Week campaign on Sunday afternoons. It's called Slaying 101, and they're going to hell on purpose this week. This is not my fault. I had nothing to do with it. They decided to do this. They do not have to be doing this, but they're doing it. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be a good time. And you can also catch me a couple of other places this coming week. I'm pretty busy. On Sunday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm on twitch.tv/lbhackemup, playing Dungeons and Dragons with that crew and Playthings of the Gods. On Monday night, you can join me at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/Colonomicon for the finale of the Monster of the Week game that I've been playing over there. It's called Act 3. And I just found out that I can open gates and create other universes with my brain. So that's good or not good, depending on who you are. If you're me, It's not good. And then on Wednesday, have a one shot. Val will be there with me as well, but we'll be on Savrik's channel playing Mark Borg, which we've been calling Borg Borg. That is at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. It's Eastern time. And I think that's all I'm doing this week that's not on this channel. But tonight I'm not doing any of those things. Tonight I am playing Mark Wahlberg, according to the web captioner. Tonight I am playing Theodosia, who is a stealthy elf rogue who fights with 2 weapons. That's me.
I don't remember the order.
Ryan's next.
All right, I'm Ryan. I'm playing Jonah, and I'm a poly guy, and I'm going to be doing those kinds of things in the game tonight. As far as announcements, just feeling great, great to be here, and that's it.
Alex.
Well, sounds like Ryan's the only one who's confident in having a good future. Those of you watching this in the future, but still check up on him. Hello, I'm Alex. I'm some guy on the internet. I'm mostly here Tuesdays, Thursdays, sometimes Saturdays. This being one of those sometimes. On the Tuesday side of things, next Tuesday will be our Call of Cthulhu game, The Burbs. Last time LB's character got yeeted into space by a nail through the palm. But, we came back to life as we are sort of Groundhog Daying this game. And so, yeah, come find out what happens next. And in tonight's game, I am playing Jazz, who is a perceptive Warforged Artificer who crafts unique items.
RJ.
Hey everybody, my name's RJ. You can catch me at Artificer282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and stream video games with my friends. Never try to inhale and swallow at the same time. Sorry. You can catch me on Mondays in our homebrew campaign over at the Indoor Adventures channel. I play a wizard, and we're dealing with the repercussions of a wish spell where my daughter got kidnapped by the Raven Queen. I'm here sometimes Thursdays, but mostly on Saturdays in different games. And also you can catch me on Wednesdays over at Open for Adventure, where we play a sandbox game. Literally, it's in a desert. I play a Tabaxi, Berserker, and he can transform into different other beast things because of the new subclass. Finally, catch me over at the Hype Goblins channel in the AM on Sundays, where I play a sorcerer cleric whose party is about to meet his parents along with his Naga girlfriend. He's stressed. I really hope they don't mess this up for him. I play Yorha Vainglory, who's a resourceful tiefling druid who invokes the elements.
And last up, Jake.
Hi, my name's Jake. I'm here on Saturdays. I play Shellac. He is a determined turtle monk, and apparently I separate mind from body. I don't know. I just assume I just decide to do things whenever I want, and then go, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I'm mostly here. You can find me on Twitter at JakeBeck27. I'm there. I might tweet things. I don't know.
And running this game, I am Val at the Kraken's Crown on Twitter and Twitch. Much like Savannah, you can find me here Thursdays through Sundays, either playing games or running them. Most notably, all my campaigns are ending in like the next couple months, and I don't know what to do about myself. You can join me here on Fridays for Neon Souls. I run that. It's a also Cypher system game, but it's cyberpunk, so definitely different than this. And on other alternating Saturdays from this game, I run a game called Saturday Night Star Power, where we're playing Overarms. Next week might be our finale, depending on how things go, and at least of season 1. And then we'll move on to season 2, where we're going to be playing Fate, and it's going to be super awesome. And today I forgot the thing that I wrote for myself. Hold on. I am the relaxed GM who murders with big fucking monsters. Y'all ready to get started? All righty. So, recapping. Last time on Saturday night's Apocalypse. Your group was in the midst of a ferocious battle against Godzilla. You had recruited King Kong to your side, the guardian of this forest, sitting at the sort of center of the Desserin Valley, that had overgrown into a dense jungle through the primordial manipulations of this cult of this water cult of the crushing wave. You had destroyed or killed the leader of the cult, a figure named Gar Shatterkeel. Thea had gotten her revenge for that, and you were left with nothing but this titanic lizard tromping through the forest on a path of destruction, and one of the many Dr. Radical Jim clones controlling this beast and seeking on some sort of warpath with it. It was an insane battle as there was people getting catapulted through the air, tethered together. I believe Yorha was monster huntering around using his arcane sort of catapulting ability. Jazz and Jonah were riding up the back of Godzilla on Jonah's motorcycle, destroying these pylons or these spikes that had been driven into the creature that were sort of animating it. One at a time, as the creature breathed these blasts of radiation, almost killing Yorha, and dealing I believe Thea took a bit of a blast herself. Oh no. Oh, we're good. Lost Ryan there for a second.
It was just me? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the DM now.
Nice.
Hello.
Sorry, Zoom crashed.
You want to keep going, Samantha? Do you need a second to reshuffle? Okay. You were able to eventually bring down this creature by destroying all of these spikes that were embedded inside of it through the combined effort of all of your abilities and Kong as well, as Dr. Jim went falling down into the forest and disappeared from sight. At the end of the battle, gathering yourselves, you realize that Dr. Jim was still alive, tracked him down through the forest, and found the mangled and dying doctor leaning up against one of the trees. You cornered him and spoke to him a bit, got some information on his I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry about that. Got some information on where he came from, where the Gym Prime was located. He gave you the location of something called the Origin, some sort of center point where the original Dr. Jim had built their sort of laboratory, was cloning themselves, and gave you some very vague directions to it. And warned you of some dangers inside. And he also, in one sort of final effort, blew up the stronghold of the elemental, of the cult of the crushing wave. And then you murdered him. I think I got that out of order because I think you interrogated him using drown after, but...
Which got exhausted.
Wait, what?
Which got exhausted.
Interrogated him using drown?
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's an item. Sorry.
Yes.
I thought it was like a Pokemon ability that got real dark or something.
No.
All right, continue.
No, you killed him and then used the ability of the artifact that you had gathered to speak or animate his corpse to get some information from him. The item was exhausted, but you got this valuable info, and all of that coming to a close. Kong venturing back off into the forests. You stopped by what's her face's hut? Mala. Yeah, you stopped by Mala's hut again. Got some food before continuing on your journey. So that's where we're gonna pick up here, unless there's anything anybody wanted to do either at Mala's hut or on the drive back to Summit Hall, we're just gonna scoot along that direction.
We got a long rest in, right?
Yeah, you would have gotten a long rest at Mala's hut, so you could use all of your rest, or all of your rest options or recovery options, I should say, up to your 10-hour recovery, and then you refresh all of those. Does anybody need a recap on how to do any of that, or has everybody got a handle on it?
36.
Is that in the assets?
If you go on your sheet, I think it's towards the bottom. You've got 4 recovery rolls you can make. Each one takes a different length of time.
Right. I see.
If you haven't used any, or if there are any left at this point, you can go ahead and use all the ones that you have left to bump yourself back up to full. And then once you take the last one, you reset all of them again. So you definitely have time to do that, especially since the next day, after resting at Mala's hut, you journey back through the dense jungle, and you're noticing as you reach the outskirts of it, you can already see some wilting and some sort of recession of the jungle from its sort of the arcane manipulations which caused it to grow. It doesn't necessarily look like the trees they're not dying in a natural way. They almost seem to be slowly just disintegrating as you pass them. Bark sort of sloughing off, the branches withering away, the trees just sort of degrading and falling down to the soil below. But you reach your vehicle, your truck. Everybody climbs inside, and you very quickly continue on your way back to Summit Hall. Heading across the wastes, journeying to the east, finding a crossing at the river that runs through the valley. And eventually, as you wind up the hills, you can see Summit Hall peeking over the horizon in the distance. The black stone structure sort of ominously jutting out from the desolate landscape. Eventually, you slow as you reach the gates. A couple of watchers on the parapets notice your arrival, call to each other, and the gates slowly open as you idle inside. Finding a space to park your truck, you begin to sort of disembark off the vehicle and kind of get it situated for any repairs or maintenance it might need in the main yard of the courtyard here. A couple people moving around, seeing you approach, kind of getting an eye on your team as you returned a bit faster than they probably were expecting. And sorry, my music is didn't mean for it to change to this. This is very dramatic. Go back. There we go. A familiar face of Liko, kind of pushing through the crowd. His white hair caught in the midday sun, wearing just simple kind of like common clothes right now. He pushes through the crowd and approaches your team as you have kind of looking for where to go next, and smiles, says, "Well, hey, welcome back. Everyone's alive."
Yeah, I need to see Officer Scary Lady.
Stormbreaker?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I can. She's in. Yeah, she's back inside right now. I can take you to her.
Cool. You guys should come along too.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's go.
All right.
Did
Yeah.
everything go? Did you do it? Is the cult gone?
Oh yeah.
Cool. Must have been easy. You all seem fine.
Had a
Oh,
good night's sleep.
yeah, we were not fine yesterday, buddy.
Mhm.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if easy is a word we would use.
Well, what happened?
I will fill you in as we walk.
Okay, okay then.
Start going, and gonna describe exactly what happened, but in the most like bland, clinical way of being like, and then there was the giant lizard, and we, drove up on it, and the others launched themselves in the air and just.
Yeah, I think you. We get the cut of all of you moving away from the camera, and towards the keep, and you just hear Liko yelling over, "You fought a giant lizard and a giant monkey!" And you make it inside, filling Liko in on all the details. Eventually, not too long, you push through the kind of market area that the interior of the keep has kind of been gutted for, cutting off to the side to where Stormbreaker's sort of office is. Liko knocks on the door, and then pushes it open, peeking his head inside, saying, "Oh, they're back. Yeah, okay, yeah. She's not busy. Go on in." And as you enter, Yorha sort of pushing to the front there. Stormbreaker is sitting behind her desk and has some like maps and plans kind of tacked to the desk with a few daggers, and she is going over them. You can see the map is crudely drawn of the valley itself. And mostly is depicting some kind of troop movements, marking off some of the progression of the defenses over at Red Larch, along with some scout reports of activity of the Cult of the Eternal Flame within the wastes in the surrounding areas. And she does not greet you as friendly as Liko does. But for her, that's pretty standard. She sort of grunts and says, "Well, you all made it back alive, and I wasn't expecting that, so congratulations. I expect your mission was successful, or else you would not have come back alive."
Big fuck off lizard fighting big fuck off monkey, and then there was a fire cult attack, and the whole place is blown to shit, but whatever. They're doing some really weird stuff with the people in the fire cult.
I'm sorry, that first part did not really seem like a but whatever sort of moment. We might have to talk a bit more about that. Giant lizard, giant monkey.
Yeah, there was some sort of like fire, but I couldn't really resist it that came out of its mouth, and the monkey had electricity. It's
An
a
electric
great
monkey.
story. Yeah.
The fire-breathing lizard.
Yep. Fire, but not fire-breathing lizard.
My skin is
Believe
still
it was
tingling.
radioactive.
Radioactive. All right. But it's dead now, correct?
Again, we believe it was dead. They brought it back to life. We stopped them from doing that.
All right, call it the win. So, what is this about? The weird thing that you're...
Could I say that Yorha would have taken back like the metal arm of the captain he incinerated?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could have
Thunks
done
that onto the desk on top of the maps.
Okay. And yeah, you see, I mean, it is an arm. It's still like mostly there's still bone and organ, like tissue and stuff there. But yeah, you can see the beside the ripe arm, there is that metal sort of interwoven, like underneath the skin. That is kind of pushing through the muscle, incorporated into it, actually half like incorporated into the bone itself. And Stormbreaker recoils slightly from the very grotesque sight of you throwing this arm onto her desk, and says, What is that?
That is the arm of a fire cult captain who I incinerated. It's not right.
No, I can tell this is not right. And there were more like this?
From what I can tell, the chopper blew up, probably vaporizing whoever was inside of it. When I was fighting him, or them, something was off.
All right. So, what are your theories here?
Is there a check? Some technology? I'm trained in machinery.
I mean, I think that probably would. It basically, so it's saying like what you might have gathered from like inspecting this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, we can roll for that. You had a lot of time to do this, so that'll affect the difficulty. Let me get my sheet back up. Task difficulty. All right, so I think we'll put this at a... I'd probably put this at a 5.
Okay. 4 because I'm trained in machinery. Could I use Jazz as an asset? Have him,
If you ask for Jazz help and he's willing to help, then yeah.
So bring that down to a 3, so I need to hit a 15.
Okay.
1 off.
Yeah. So after... I'm trying to think what you get with this. Yeah, you can't. You're not able to quite grasp what might have caused this, like what this is. But given your relationship with the Eternal Flame and in your history with them, though you can't understand the mechanics of this, you do know for a fact that this is something that this is new. And just like looking at it, you can tell like there's not like any scarring or anything here. Whatever happened here, it doesn't look like it was surgical. It doesn't look like he had this like grafted on. Almost looks like it is something that has sort of grown into him, if metal had the ability to grow. But yeah, you can't gather much else than that.
I don't know what the cult of Eternal Flame is doing to put metal inside of someone's body, but I know that when I burned that person, they looked grateful for it. Like they were being freed from something.
That is horrifying. Well, currently, we've been dealing with the cult the best that we can. Mostly our scouts have been keeping an eye out. It looks like most of their attention has been on Red Larch, as we expected. So they haven't made a direct move against us at this point, before their attempts to secure the city. Arbuck has been giving us regular updates. We're expecting one probably later today, if not tomorrow. We should have some idea of what's going on over there at that point and decide what our next action should be.
Great. Just great.
But I would advise looking into this. If you can learn, you can keep the arm. I do not need it. I do not know what to do with it. If there is anything that you can learn from this, please be letting me know.
Takes it by the forearm and then walks out of the room.
He seems moody. Is there anything else anybody wants to tell me about, or should somebody follow him?
I'll go talk to him.
All right. Is there something else I can help you all with while you are in my office?
I will provide you with a detailed report of what happened with the Cult of the Crushing Wave. And I don't know, we've established before that they have some kind of library or research materials, right?
Yeah, they've got some. I mean, not a lot.
Mhm.
That's not their specialty. But in the Undercroft, where most of the secret law meetings and stuff go, they do have some intel and materials that they've gathered.
So basically just a request to... Jazz is going to spend whatever downtime we have trying to figure out where this origin is. You know, under the... I was going to say pretense, but that makes it sound shitty. With the goal of figuring out, okay, you know, we may be going on to the last cult now, but clearly something bigger is going on, and we should go figure out what that is and probably deal with it. But
yeah, and you know, Good Jim is down there too, so we can do something with the two of you kind of bouncing ideas around. Not sure how much he remembers, but you might be able to track down a lead there. Okay, so we've got Jazz talking to Jim. Thea's gonna go talk to Yorha to try to do that. Is there anything that Jonah or Shellac want to do?
I think for Shellac, I think for him, like, it's been kind of a weird experience. Like, things have kept getting weirder and weirder. And he's like, I think he's going to go kind of like meditate or kind of put himself away, like not be super antisocial, but be like, I'm gonna spend some time. I've seen some things. This is weird. I need to like process this. Like, we fought an undead big lizard, brought back to life against a big monkey that we also fought by turning somebody into a T-Rex, and then like all these other things. It's like I need a day to process this.
Okay, that's fair. So going to do some like meditating and
Yeah.
All right. What about Jonah?
I think Jonah would just find a group of people within this this kind of a camp and like see if try to find old people, maybe play some chess or something like that. If there's like crackers, like to feed some ducks, you know, just have a good old fashioned like old man time, you know.
Okay.
I don't know. You live in Florida. What do old men do?
Golf.
I'll golf.
Okay. Jonah goes out to. They've built up a golf course. It's 2 holes and it just goes around in a circle.
One of the holes is just like a tar pit, and just like, well,
yeah. All right. Jonah goes to play some golf with. I mean, you've been living in this community for a while too, so I imagine Jonah's got some friend that the chat can name for me.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to redeem an NPC, I'm looking. I don't think I have any NPC name redemptions here.
Cool.
But yeah, you've got some people you can go.
We're just gonna have a couple Long Island iced teas. We're gonna play some golf, and you know, just
Okay.
talk about what a disappointment our children are.
Okay. I do want to get back to Jonah's children at some point.
Sure.
But let's talk about let's go into Thea meeting up with or catching up with Yorha. So you got her. I cannot say that name for a second. I just went full pirate. Yorha. Where do you go?
If there's like a workshop sort of workstation area, you would have headed there.
Yeah. So there's sort of like a yard for the vehicles and the like construction and modification of the fleet that they have here of cars. I'd say there's probably like what probably used to be like a stable has been outfitted into a garage, and they do a lot of their their modifications or their tinkering and stuff in that garage. So yeah, you could head that way. Thea, you see Yarhar heading up.
I hate you both.
Heading towards the workshop.
Hey,
Hey,
what's wrong with you?
holds up the hand, arm, flops it around.
You never seen a severed arm before? It's creepy the first time. I'll give you that.
Not with this running through it. The fire cult and I have a complicated relationship.
Do you want to talk about it?
He'll nod to the workshop and continue walking.
So what's complicated about it?
I used to kind of be part of the fire cult.
Oh,
Joined up with my crew when I was younger. Some stuff happened. I backed out. Been kind of wandering around since then.
some bad stuff, I guess.
More or less. We were just a bunch of dumb kids, Thea. And if the fire cult is doing things like this to them, I don't have time to wait around here. We might have broken off on bad terms, but they're still sort of my family.
You think they're unwilling, right? The people are doing this to?
You didn't see the look in the captain's eyes. Like I said, it looked like I was freeing them from something.
No, I didn't see it, but I believe you.
The sooner we get out there and find my group, make sure they're all right, the sooner I'll feel better. But for now, I'm gonna do what I can do and try and figure out what the hell this is. You want to give me a hand?
Yeah, okay. I'll help.
Yorha's gonna spend the next set of time kind of dissecting this arm to see how it works, basically.
Okay. We can maybe do another. You can do another check later if you want to spend some effort to try to figure out what you missed before. Okay. Let's go ahead and get with. We'll do this other scene with Jazz doing research and stuff first, and then get back with that. So Jazz, you head to the Undercroft and to the some like lab area that they have down there with some they've got like a small like research alcove with reports and documents that have been salvaged and other things, mostly relating to activity within the valley, especially of the cults and stuff. And Dr. Jim is down there as well, currently tinkering with a few arcane devices that he's been working on, and just trying to stay busy.
Hello there, Jin.
Oh, Jazz, I didn't know you were back. Everything
Recent
successful?
development.
Right. I don't know how long I've been down here for.
beats me. Could be anywhere between few hours and several months. Probably not the months. We've only been
Hopefully.
here a few days.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Well, I trust that your travel or your operation was successful.
Largely, we did dismantle the water cult and
Good.
dealt with their radical gym.
I figured there was another one of me involved over there. Unfortunate, but it's good that you've dealt with them and I'm sure the threat that they posed.
Yes, well, we recovered an artifact which is already broken, which allowed us to speak with the deceased spirit of the radical gym, and he informed us about the origin where Jim Prime has been masterminding everything about your cousins.
Oh. The origin? Is that what he called it?
Yes, it was. Let's see. Going back to last session's notes. He said that the Prime is hidden, possibly still alive in some capacity at the origin. And he said the origin is at the center of all things in the hills, an ancient city buried beneath that, even deep below. Follow the stairs, we'll find at the northernmost peak, descend from there and follow the catacombs. The origin is beyond that, where the eye watches.
Oh. That sounds ominous.
Rather cryptic, yes.
Again, I wish I could remember more. I don't. This doesn't really ring a bell to me, unfortunately. Is that what you're down here to look for, though? Information on this?
Soon enough, yes, though I don't know how much time we'll have before we set out to deal with the Cult of the Eternal Flame. Seems like things are getting rather heated with them.
That's a good one. Right. Well, if there's anything I can help with, I'm obviously trying to make amends here for the work that I've done or other me's have done. I mean, I still feel responsible for it, even though it's not me.
I can understand that sentiment.
But I've done some fair work in categorizing the mess that I found down here. The law, for all of their virtues, organization was not one of them. So I believe I understand or have categorized most of what we found here, and perhaps there's something that I glossed over or have not read that might be able to help you.
Yes, I will indeed be asking you for your assistance as I conduct research.
All right.
And I also don't know if you've done any tinkering while we've been out that might aid us in facing the fire cult. Yorha did mention that something they did overcame his innate fire resistance.
Oh. Huh.
Yes.
That's troubling.
He also brought back an arm which had bits of metal grown through it. We may be able to check in with him later, see what he's learned and examine it, but
Grown through it.
it seemed as if the metal were organic in some capacity, but it was not grafted or simply shoved into the meat.
I would very much like, you said he brought a sample back, an arm, you said?
Yes, he wandered off with it. We can locate him somewhere in the compound, hopefully.
All right. I would like having the opportunity to examine it when he is done. I've been working on a few things while I'm here, tinkering with various items and such. Nothing substantial yet, but I'm hoping that I'll have some gadgets to support you with. As far as this fire situation, that does pose some difficulties if they have some means of, I guess, amplifying this power. I'll look into that as well and see if there's anything I can provide. All right. Well, it seems I have my work cut out for me then. I'll start working on that. And if you need my assistance with anything you're doing, simply let me know. I'll be over here. Try to stay out of your way.
So, one matter first. If you truly don't remember how long it's been since you've been down here, you should probably get some water, get some food. You know, those things that your organics require.
Oh, right. I am rather hungry. Yes, I'll do that first. Goes to take care of that. Probably take a shower, and we'll return a little bit later. So, what first actionable thing do you want to do down here?
I'm deciding between two. One would be looking at what he's started on that may be of help. You know, try and figure out what we can do to deal with, you know, super fire damage. And in terms of origin stuff, I think the first course of action is using the clues we got, try and figure out where we start looking for its location.
Okay. All right. I think with the fire issue, yeah, let's go ahead and we'll do a roll for both. So as far as how you're tackling the problem of trying to sort of inure yourselves or gain some sort of resistance to fire, are you looking for an arcane solution or something more mechanical?
Looking at what I'm specialized in versus trained in, probably something more arcane in nature.
Okay. All right. We'll put the difficulty of this. Pull up my chart. I'd probably put this at a 6. Task beyond the abilities of most normal people.
Okay. And then specialized in magical knowledge.
Okay.
So that brings it to a 4. I'll spend 1 effort to bring it down to a 3. Can you only get assets from other players / items you have, or could the good Dr. Jim be an asset in this?
Oh,
or
no,
is that
yeah, you
already
could
rolled into the setting it at a 6?
No, he could function as an asset if you want to ask for his help on this. It might mean that he won't have as much time to work on some of the other things he was working on, but yeah, he could count as an asset.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. So that brings it down to a 2.
All right.
That's a 13.
All right, perfect. So you succeed. Yeah, you do some research into it as far as methods of avoiding different types of, afflictions and magics and things like that. There's a pretty substantial amount of research on there. It's just enacting it that becomes the most complex part. But with Jim's help, you do find the recipe for a sort of concoction, a substance that you could perhaps sort of apply to exposed areas, skin, or other parts that you might be concerned about getting being burned, and that would hopefully reduce the damage taken from that. Specifically, there is a cipher in the game called Oil of Resistance that would give you a resistance to effects such as fire. So if you want to attempt to craft it with Jim's help, you could do that. It would be limited in the amount that you can make, though, given the time that you have.
Sure. Sounds like it would be useful for us to do.
Yeah. So I think. What I'll go ahead and do this as, it'll be the same roll that it was for this first one. The research of it, the crafting of it, will be the same difficulty. You can apply the same things to it if you want. The level of which you succeed, the way I'm going to frame this is for each level you succeed over whatever you bring it down to. So if you bring it down to a 2 again, for each degree that you succeed over the 2, I will give you an additional use of this cipher.
Sounds good to me. So, whoops, I should hit the minus, not the plus for subtracting for edge and effort. All right, and then yeah, I don't suppose I can now use my bag of tools for crafting as an additional asset for this, or am I already at my asset limit?
You can get up to 2 assets, so I don't think you had an asset for anything else. So yeah, you could use this as well and bring it down all the way to a 1.
Yep. All right, let's do that, and watch as I roll like a 4. 14.
Okay, so you made it a 1. A 14 would be up to difficulty 4. So you can have 4 uses of this oil. Essentially, the way that it works, I'll take a screenshot of it. But the oil of resistance, it's on page 204. You have a chance for additional resistance to directly damaging effects of all kinds, such as fire, lightning, and the like, for a day. It does not provide resistance to blunt force, slashing, or piercing attacks. If the level of the effect is less than or equal to the level of the cipher, you gain an additional defense roll to avoid it. On a successful defense roll, you treat the attack as if you had succeeded on your regular defense roll. So essentially, it lets you do if you fail on your defense roll, you can do a redo, and if you succeed on that, then you avoid the damage. The level of the cipher is a d6 plus 1. I want to roll. I'll give you guys the choice. We can roll them all 4 separately and get 4 different level ciphers, and we can just roll 1 level and see how the whole batch turns out. All or nothing.
I'm leaning towards the batch. Anyone else got strong feelings?
All right, let's go for the batch then. So go and roll a d6.
That's a 5.
Okay, level 6. So the whole batch, you have 4 uses. Is anyone at their cipher limit?
I just brought myself back up to the cipher limit in crafting this.
Okay. So this will be different. These will be 4 separate ciphers. So go ahead and give them out to the people that are gonna...
I already have 2, so.
Okay. So we have Jazz is going to take 1 of them, I assume. Do the other 3 of you just want to take the other ones?
I'll take 1.
Okay. Yeah, since he is full. So everyone else but Thea take an oil of resistance. Cipher level is... wait, do we say 6?
6.
Oh. My wand got deleted.
Oh, did it?
Wasn't that an artifact?
No, that was a cipher, wasn't it? No, it was an artifact. You're right.
Yeah.
There it is, Inferno wand. Never mind.
All right.
Oops.
Just making sure. Okay. So we have that. Jazz did that. Going back to Yorha and Thea for a second, you wanted to do some research, or I guess, is Thea sticking around for this, or is she doing something else?
No, she's gonna help.
She's gonna help. Okay, so you're going to look into the the arm again, try to get some more information on it. You could go to, if you want to, you could go to Jim and stuff and get some more help and potentially have a different another asset there if your help wants to spearhead this investigation. We can sort of combine our efforts.
That sounds good.
Okay.
It's not sterile up here.
Yeah. Because Thea could help, that'd be an asset, and then Jim can help, and that'll be another asset. So, all right. What did I make the roll before? Was it
It was a 5.
5? Yeah.
So 4, 3. It'd be a.
You are going to have to spend 1 level of effort just to do this. Okay.
Mhm. Okay. So next. Okay, so with training, it brings it down to a 4. Thea and Jim bring it down to a 3.
2.
2. Okay, cool. That's a lot better.
Yeah.
But I can't roll for shit.
What'd you roll?
A 6. Oh yeah, that's enough.
That succeeds. Yeah, that just succeeds. Just barely. So yeah, describe to me, Thea, how you assist in this, because I know Thea doesn't have, like, I assume she doesn't have any training in tech or engineering or magic or anything like that.
It's that sort of scalpel. Thea's quickly
Yeah.
scalpel.
Yeah, I think she's just. I think she's just an extra set of hands and
Okay,
eyes.
that's fair too. I mean, Thea has a substantial amount of like dexterity and stuff, so assisting with the with the disassembling and the surgical nature of this would also be, I think, within her wheelhouse. There, she knows how to use a knife. So...
You want to try using the bone saw?
Yes.
Rocking motion.
All right. So
she talks incessantly the whole time.
With Jim's help as well, because Jim is just fascinated to see this and wants to know everything about it. You inspect, dissect, are able to take some bits of this this metal. I am going to impose an intrusion here too, because I want to see this happen. So you succeed in this. I'm not doing an intrusion to make you fail on the check. But what happens is you take apart the arm, and you begin to try to disassemble or pull some of these pieces of the metal to isolate them, to try to run some tests to figure out what it is exactly, because it's not like it's not segmented, like there aren't individual pieces here. This isn't something that was manufactured. Looks like it's like one smooth piece of metal that seems to be running through the bone and the veins and the muscle, again, like it has sort of grown into the arm. And what you find is you take a piece of the metal, kind of sawing it off, and putting it into a petri dish off to the side. And as soon as it's removed from the body and placed into this this dish, you watch as the metal liquefies, like mercury almost, and just reaches a liquid state inside the petri dish, and as it kind of like sloughs around or moves as you breathe near it, and it kind of flows throughout the dish. The intrusion here is going to be that as you are looking at it, Yorha, the metal suddenly snakes out of the dish, and sort of splashes up onto your arm and begins to work its way inside of you.
So let me give you some fun facts, Val. I have 0 XP.
So
I
you
cannot
can't reject
deny.
it.
I can't deny this intrusion.
Oh, well, you get XP for it.
Yeah,
So
I'll give it to.
congratulations.
I'll give it to Thea for helping.
Okay. So you get an XP and Thea gets an XP. And you are now being attacked by this liquid metal. I'd like you're going to need to make a might defense roll.
Oh no, a Terminator.
It is like a Terminator. Yeah, this is like the Terminator 2 metal is kind of what I was envisioning here.
It's right after like Neo touches the mirror in the first Matrix.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Both of these references are equally acceptable here. And if anyone has a third one, we can keep going. I realize more and
in
more
the
how
90s
unoriginal this idea is.
Wait, in the 90s, remember the Capri Sun ads? Is it like that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
And now I understand where all of my inspiration comes for everything that I run. It's from 90s television commercials and movies. So it's going to be a might defense roll. The difficulty is going to be, hold on, I have it written somewhere. Is going to be difficulty 6 might defense roll.
Cool. I have 3 levels of effort. And I do have an ability called Trickery, which instead of spending from my might or speed, I can spend directly from my intelligence pool.
Right.
So I'm going to reduce it down to a 3.
Okay, you're going to spend the points from your intellect pool to reduce it. So that'd be subtracting whatever your edge is. So that's 7 points minus your edge from your intellect pool to reduce it to a 3.
Oh, but the cost goes up to 2. So by 2.
Oh, right.
So math.
So it'd be 9 points from your intellect pool minus your edge.
Okay, so 6. Okay. Difficulty 3.
Okay. Anyone else? I will say too, Thea, Jazz, Jim, all there. If somebody wants to step in to try to help, you could provide an asset to this too.
I got a 12.
Oh, you rolled already?
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll do. Luckily, you succeeded. So we'll go with that, and then we'll do the reactions afterwards. As the metal latches onto your arm, and you grab onto it with your gloved hand, and begin to sort of pull as it's already sort of like working its way inside of you, and it is searing pain. It's like the metal almost feels like it is burning you, and in fact you finally are able to rip it off of you and like cram it back down into the petri dish and sort of close it, holding it in place, throwing some books on top of it. The area where the metal had already touched, it had already like sort of cut or sliced some incisions into your arm, but also the bare skin where it had touched is burned. And you see like it already red and sort of blistered just from contact with this metal.
Joke's on you, my skin's already red.
Well, it's redder and blistered.
Ah!
What the heck?
What the heck?
Jim also says, "What the heck?" and then says, "I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like that."
Yeah. Me neither. It's new, apparently.
Do you think the rest of the metal does that? Looking back at what remains on the arm, though it hasn't moved, it still seems to be dormant.
Yorha moves over to a large, like, Pyrex container and just puts it over the arm with some more books on top. I don't want to find out.
Good idea. I can look into this carefully and see what exactly it means, but I would suppose, just from your dissection of the arm of the captain and this experience just now, that the metal itself seems to be living in some way, perhaps animated by some sort of magics or curse or something like that. Knowing its relation to the cult of the Eternal Flame, perhaps some primordial magics at work.
If the cult has done this to anyone that I know, I am going to show them what it really means to burn.
Right. Well, it seems like they may have done this to themselves too. So
What is
I
the
would-
benefit? That hurts like a mother trucker.
I wouldn't put it past that there's another gym responsible for this. But I will begin examining the sample and see what I can find out about it. Any sort of weaknesses or such that might be beneficial to you out in the field.
Great. I need a drink.
Of course. I would advise putting some aloe or perhaps some other healing ointments on your wound there,
You should
just to make
bandage
sure it
that.
doesn't get infected.
Right. There's
All
a
right.
first aid kit nearby. Yorha's gonna pop it open and rummage through it.
All right. Bandage up the wound. And yeah, dealt with that. So that was your experiment. Learned about the arm. So you guys are all in the same place, Jazz, the Yorha. Is there anything else you want to do? No? Okay. Jonah's out playing golf. Probably on the on your first turn right now. Finishing up 9 on the back 9, which is also the front 9.
It's not even 9
It's like,
on the back 2.
On the back 2.
this time it's uphill.
Can I spend a token to say it's a mini golf course?
Yes, it's a mini golf course that they play as if it was a full golf course. Just very, very. It's golf is much more finesse than it is power at this point. You play with tiny clubs. Now I want to play this game. All right, you. Let's. I've got one thing for Shellac first. So, Shellac, you find a quiet place to meditate. What does Shellac look for? Like, it's a good place to sort of center yourself.
I think he would do. I think he would first try to find like some kind of like a quiet place, like just kind of an empty room to try to like meditate in. But then it's just feeling too antsy about it. So he's trying to do some walking meditation. So he's just kind of wandering and walking around this entire place, just kind of going wherever he feels like, oh, I'm gonna go down this hall, I'm gonna walk down this way, I'm gonna do this, and just as a way to kind of collect his thoughts on all of this.
All right, so you find this quiet spot away from everybody else, the roar of like the machinery. I'd say like maybe you're still like inside the walls, but far enough away from like the workshop and the workyard and maybe there's like a quiet, like a pond here that's been set aside, and sort of just like a reflection pool, probably like an older structure that has was once built here, maybe like a well that is filled in. It's not very clean, but it does have some water sitting in it, and it's a nice sort of quiet spot for you to reflect. And as you sit down to sort of breathe and meditate on the events of the day, you close your eyes and sort of center yourself on that same sort of like because we've talked about this before. This was more relevant in D&D, but in the system, like drawing sort of some center and focus from like the sun and nature itself, but mostly on light and sunlight is sort of like a cleansing focus. And even closing your eyes, you can still feel the sun sort of cast down upon you, warming your shell, sort of playing. You can see the spots through your eyelids as even as you're closed in this meditative state. Everything is sort of peaceful as a light breeze carries through the courtyard. And as you reach this sort of trance and find this full sort of meditation and finally center yourself, you feel this connection with the world around you. And I think since your time coming into the valley and experiencing these cults, you have felt this disturbance sort of present, this disruption and imbalance to nature, as the elements have sort of played against themselves and have pushed and pulled and found their territories here, something primordial and ancient sort of pushing itself into the world. And you feel that still, but there's less of like a pulling here, as now 3 of the rifts have been closed. You feel a heat, a strong presence to the pull of the flame and fire, not too dissimilar from your own centerings and where you draw from your own power, but more aggressive, more destructive, sort of a shadow, an opposite to where you kind of center yourself and pull from. But the absence of the other 3 causes something else to sort of come to your attention. A shadow almost in place of the 3 powers that have now vanished, and you feel a darkness sort of pressing in. And as you focus on this darkness, sort of reaching out, trying to push it away and find your center, you feel as though you are being observed, as though you are being watched, as if something is pushing back towards you purposefully. And you feel that sort of prickling to your skin, that unsettling feeling of something looking back at you. And in this vision, in this darkness, you see a symbol, more realized than it has been before, but familiar to a symbol that you've seen. You see an eye at the center of all of this, sort of abstracted, like the moving smoke and darkness and the combination of the elements sort of forming this ovular shape at the center, leading to this dark void at the very core. And it's unsettling but familiar. You feel a pull to it, though you sort of find yourself trying to recede and move away from its overpowering and its dark nature. How does Shellac sort of react to this, or what do you?
I think there's like, I think some of his own just kind of instinctual tortoise sort of like instincts to threats would be, if I go into my shell and stay perfectly still, no one's gonna see me, or that's the safest place. And so I think I think he wants to observe more, but he also doesn't want to, like, whatever this presence is, know that he's like aware of it, and wants to just kind of just be as, I guess, like passively like observant as possible, in a way, but also still this kind of doing that, like, this is what I need to do in order to like survive an attack, and that's what I think he's kind of leaning on. But he's also like, just want to run away from it because that might make it worse, and doesn't know what happens if you would,
Yeah.
try to proceed closer. So I think
Okay.
he's gonna try to just be like as still as possible.
All right. I want you to roll an intellect defense roll.
Okay.
So the difficulty for this is going to be a 4.
Okay.
And if you have, I don't know if you have any training in intellect defense.
I do. What is this one? The only thing I have is I have sharp senses, so I'm trained in actions involving perception.
Okay. I don't think that'll really
Okay.
apply
Yeah.
here.
Then that's all that I would have.
Okay. So it's a 4. You can apply effort though if you want.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and apply effort. I don't have any edge, so
What's your effort level?
Effort level is 2.
2. Okay. So yeah, if you want to spend 2 levels of effort, then it would be 5 points from your intellect pool.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. And that'll reduce it to a 2. So go ahead and roll.
$16.
Nice. As a full success. So you adopt true to form and kind of Shellax's mantra, a very passive approach here. Not when to draw attention to yourself by pushing or fleeing, just observing and trying to understand a bit of what is happening. And a bit of clarity sort of hits you in that moment as you relax and you try to understand what's happening. You, at the center of this moving eye, as you're watching it, you're feeling this familiarity and this connection here. Like this is something you've seen before, like in your meditations or sometime in the past. Like you have witnessed this previously. And you see at the center of this eye, as you are watching it, it kind of grows and then retracts and expands and moves and shifts. And it's less of an eye than it is just this moving vortex of chaotic elemental energies that have formed into this purplish kind of ultraviolet black color. And at the very epicenter, there's almost like a reflection, and you can see images within that reflection. You see familiar sights. You see a wasteland with a ship hovering a few hundred feet off the ground of the ships of the Illithid that you had encountered previously. That image fades and the rippling fluctuates, and you see images of a titanic lizard crashing through the undergrowth and crashing through the jungles. The image shifts and you see undead pooling out from the hills and nearby towns, and you're seeing images of the recent past, and then fluctuating in between those you see other sites that you haven't that are less familiar to you. You see towering buildings made from steel standing hundreds of feet tall. You see vehicles winding through those buildings, moving at fast speeds, bright lights. You see images of creatures moving through these buildings, in and out of them. Humans, elves, dwarves, all sorts of races familiar to you, but in such like dense populations, and not warring, not fighting, dressed strangely, but seeming to be in a sort of like peaceful world, a world less destroyed or less ravaged than the one that you're currently in. And then that image shifts as well. And you see all sorts of images sort of fluctuating before finally the eye moves again, begins to recede, and the vision fades.
And I think with that, Shellac would slowly kind of come out of kind of this meditative trance, like at first just kind of like waking up, and then just like kind of like a snap of like, that was weird, I should probably tell people. And I think he's going to try to find everybody else and just be like, and just this like, I saw things. And it's just kind of saying that. It's just kind of like muttering to it under his like breath as he's like kind of like, I wouldn't say walking down the hall. I wouldn't say running, not running, but like briskly walking, just kind of muttering to himself. And then I think he's going to try to find everybody else to at least kind of explain.
So running through back to the workyard and the people that are working on vehicles, and then through like the bazaar that is set up within the keep, just yelling at people like, I saw things, and people giving Shellac strange looks as he's pushing through the crowds, as you're going to find Thea, Jazz, and Yorha, who are still inside. Before we get to that, you're telling them though, outside, Jonah, you're on the 18th hole, which is just the second hole that you've played for the ninth time. You are have had a very relaxing day. You're on your fourth or fifth or 10th, I don't know how much Jonah drinks, Long Island iced tea.
I'm sure they started doing virgin Long Islands at some point. They're like, we don't want to go with this anymore.
Well, you don't want to ruin your handicap. So yeah, you're setting up to putt and finish the last hole, and just as you're kind of lining up your shot, there is a roaring in the distance of an engine, and you sort of stop, and one of your partner that has been golfing with you kind of turns around frustratedly and says, come on, is there no courtesy anymore? And looks over towards the car. And as you're doing that too, you see it's actually a line of vehicles, 5 in total, that are racing across the desert, the wastes towards the keep. And at first, there's that pit of anxiety that this is another attack by one of the other cults, and then you notice that they are bearing the banners and the paint and the coloring of Summit Hall and the law, and the cars look in bad shape. You see holes in the side, you see scorch marks across them, and as they pull up close and kind of begin to idle towards the gates, as the gates begin to open, you see a lot of them are very badly injured. Some of them with bandages across them, a lot with more burn marks across their clothes. And in the front seat of the vehicle closest to you, that you can make out from this distance, you see Harbuck, the leader of the group that was defending Red Larch, very badly burned. He has some bandages tightly wrapped around his shoulder and his right arm, and he looks pretty rough and pretty panicked as the cars begin to pull inside of the keep. And we're going to go ahead and take our break there. And we'll come back in a few minutes after our break to continue our session and see everything that's going on. So, thank you, everyone out there, for watching. Stay tuned. Stay with us while we take our break and sort of rejuvenate ourselves a bit. Everyone go drink some water, stretch, do everything else you need to, and we will see you back here in a few minutes. Stay tuned. Welcome back, Internet, and thanks for hanging out with us on our break. We're going to be finishing up our session here in the second half, so buckle up. I don't know what's going to be happening, but it's probably not going to be. It's probably not really worthy of buckling up. We're going to be staying far below the speed limit here, so you can just chill and join us. All right. So where we left off, Jonah, as you were finishing up your round, you witnessed the caravan with Harbuck returning, presumably from Red Larch. And is there anything you want to do as you're seeing this this very injured looking group coming back into the keep?
I think I'll just, the oh gosh, what are they called? They're not called ball boys. What are they called when you golf?
Caddies?
Caddies, yeah.
Caddies, yeah.
Ball boys, horse too.
I almost said bag boy.
Yeah.
And I
Bag
knew that
boy
was
works too.
wrong.
I'll just make eyes the caddy to mark where my last shot was, flip him a coin to do so, I guess, and then just run over to or a little kind of short jog to see what I can do to help.
I'm trying to envision, is Jonah golfing in his normal leather
Oh yeah.
Big Daddy kind of outfit, or
yes.
or is he in a golf polo? And Big Daddy we're Metal Gear Solid.
No, it's
Big
basically it's basically Ghost Rider without the flaming skull, but there's this those little golf hats with the koosh ball on top or whatever it looks like. So just
Okay.
and it's pastel colored.
Okay,
But everything else is
it's still leather. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
You go jogging up the caravan. The gates are currently opening, and some of the vehicles are heading in. You catch Harbuck before his car pulls in. Again, very badly damaged, burns across the side panels. You can see some areas where the metal itself has warped and melted. And again, Harbuck looks rough. He's sustained some pretty heavy burns. And he sees you and gives a stoic nod in your direction as you come up to the car.
Do I have a... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Jonah,
Hi, Bug.
how'd you play?
Yeah, not my best day.
That's fine. Not mine either.
Yeah, it looks it. What happened?
Shit hit the fan. We've been
Gross.
we're fighting off those cultists for a few days now. Small skirmishes around the town, nothing we couldn't handle, and then they all just kind of came at once. They got some flying shit that came up in there and started bombing us with fire, and I caught the brunt of one of those explosions, and we got most of the townspeople out before all this, but most of our volunteers, I don't think they made it out. I don't know if they got caught in the blasts, or I saw some of them getting rounded up by the cultists. Seems like they were taken prisoners. There's a lot of them, and I gotta tell Stormbreaker they're gonna be heading this way.
I better go with you.
Yeah, can you get everyone together?
Sure.
Thanks, man. Kind of past the side of the car, and the driver like
I my drink.
yeah, takes the
Harbuck.
drink,
Yeah.
downs it. So you're heading in. So as he pulls in, says, "There's no alcohol in this."
I'm changing my ways, Harbuck.
As he pulls inside, frustrated. So you gonna
I
go
want my
grab
son to talk to me again.
you go and grab the others. So we'll deal with Shellack's things first, because Shellac went to find everyone. So you're all in the lab underneath with the in the undercroft. Shellac comes down yelling that he saw something. Something happened.
You want some Teddy Grahams, big guy?
I just kind of like stop. When Yorha says that, he kind of stops. He goes, "Yeah, I do." And he just kind of takes the whole bag and just starts to eat it one by one, and then like proceeds to kind of talk a little slowly about like, I saw, seeing that eye, and like he's trying to relay all this information. For some reason, I'm imagining it as very like when Courage the Cowardly Dog would try to like explain to like Muriel that like there's something going on, and like, that kind of thing. But eventually kind of gets the point across about like, I think there's something behind the scenes. I think it's much more devious than just someone like radical than Dr. Jim, and almost as if like we replace, like, by getting rid of these cults, something worse has taken their place. And then I mentioned, the eye was constantly there. And then I hand the empty bag of Teddy Grahams back to Yorha and be like, "Sorry, I'll pay you back."
You know what? It's fine. It looks like you had a time with this whole Spirit Quest thing.
Spirit Quest.
Jim, who's been listening, says, "There's a lot going on right now, and I'm not quite sure what to make of all of it. But I'll do what I can to help. Can you draw what you saw? Or can you describe it so I can sketch it?"
I just pictured Serac just for no reason not being good at drawing.
Yeah.
Just for this one, he's like, "How about you tell me what it was, and then let me draw it."
Yeah, so I kind of tell him that these kind of like shadowy figures and that eye that we've seen before in other places, and I think he tries his best to interpret all that he's seen in as best as he can.
Yeah, so you describe the various, like, the scenes that you saw, and the eye itself, and the vision, and Jim sketches it to the best of his ability. Not an amazing artist, but enough to, like, for documentation and research purposes, and finishes. And it's all right. I will cross-reference this as well. Perhaps maybe some clues to the location of the origin, and see if we can find anything there. You're all right, though? No ill effects or other...
I mean, I tried his best not to like get its attention, just in case. So hopefully not. I feel fine.
Well, good. That's good to hear. Just let me know if you have any other visions, and I will document those as well, add it to our investigation.
Okay. I'll also pick up some, like, I'll get some crayons and some paper, so if it happens again, I'll sketch it out for you.
Okay. We should have some extras around here.
Okay.
the ones that the Oracle isn't currently using. Okay. He heads off to add those to his research and see what he can find.
Today keeps on getting better and better, huh?
And at this moment, there's heavy footsteps coming down the stairs as Jonah comes running in.
Oh no.
Just had to tempt the fates, didn't you?
Am I interrupting something?
Like a
Chocolate
lot,
Teddy
but
Bear?
it's fine.
All right. Well, when you take your time, wrap up what you're doing. But just let you know that you know, Harvey Hardbuck, as I call him. Anyway, they're back, and they were attacked, and trouble coming this way. But you do your thing, and when you're ready, I'll see you topside.
Is Harbuck okay?
Half of them.
Is Harbuck alive?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You say he's all right now? Sorry.
Anyway,
I use humor to cope.
all right, you kids have fun. I'll be upstairs.
Oh boy.
Is everyone following upstairs or anything you want to do before you go? Okay. Follow. You all head back up, emerging into Stormbreaker's office, and there Harbuck is sitting. You all see his rough shape as well, the burns, the bandages. He's got his Stetson sitting on the table in front of him, drinking some. He's replaced the Virgin Long Island with a bottle of whiskey at this point. And Stormbreaker has finished or started receiving the report as you all enter, and she says, "Oh, good, the rest are here. You'll be wanting to hear this too, I assume." Harbuck gives a nod and goes into a bit of what he had already told Jonah. Says, "I don't know what to make of it. We've lost Red Larch. It's gone. I mean, in the most effective way possible, I guess. The scrappers from the Eternal Fire or Eternal Flame are probably making their way through the place. They rounded up, as far as I can tell, anyone that was left when we tried to amscray out of there. And we made out with as many people as we can. There were so many of them. I've never seen a group that big. I honestly, I mean this with all respect, ma'am, I don't think we can even hold them here, even with our defenses. I'm talking about thousands. And most of them didn't even look like bandits. I mean, they looked like a mob of village folk coming in through here. I mean, I heard a couple people yelling that they saw people they recognized up from Belliard or from around, and I don't know, somehow it seems like the people that they're capturing, they're turning against us.
Now would probably be a good time to mention that the metal inside the arm we found, it's living in some capacity, forms some sort of bond with the host.
This is the arm that you were telling me of earlier.
Tried to get in me.
It's really
Yeah.
creepy.
So you're of the mind then that this metal or something they're doing is controlling people?
They might not be doing this against. They might be doing this against their will. Metal gets into them and kind of controls them like puppets.
I mean, we've encountered parasites and stuff before. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing.
That is unsettling.
Yeah.
I had been hoping that we might not be dealing with this sort of thing again after we sent the aliens away, and the zombies when they were gone. Yeah, all right. Harbuck says, I'm just not really sure what to do here, ma'am. We sent most of our fighters with us to hold down Red Larch. I mean, we've got a fair group here. If we man the walls with everyone we've got, we could probably hold them for a bit, but not much longer than that. If they start bringing in those whirlybirds or whatever they are, they dropping fire on us. We don't have any defenses for that.
You might need to evacuate this place.
Stormbreaker kind of clicks her teeth a little bit and thinks about that. I do not know where we would bring everyone at this point. This is the only place that is left. We could take some people into the hills, scatter, find some other communities outside of the valley, but eventually they're going to find them.
Could we build some
Some
defenses? We've seen the flying things. So has Harbuck. The machines. Could we build something?
I am not the engineer. That would be more for our more scientific minds here. If there's something that you think you could build to fight off the ships or
I mean,
whirlybirds, as Arbuck called them.
all you really need is a bigger gun.
We've got a rudimentary, truck-sized mounted turret that we have been making use of with our vehicle. Could construct something larger that packs more of a punch to deal with the helicopters. It's also perhaps advisable that we go out ahead of the attacking force and see how much we can divert ourselves. Because again, I do believe those flying machines will be the biggest threat, and so if we can take out even one of them before it reaches Summit Hall, that would be...
Could I make a sort of knowledge check for a rough summation of how many birds they can get in the air?
Like for how many they had, or they were...
Like, yeah, how many they had, and like what was like the building speed?
Yeah, I won't make you roll for that. I don't think that's going to be interesting if it... there's nothing interesting in rolling for that. So I'd say, based on your understanding, when you were among the group, they had some engineers that were working on things. They had found some helicopters that they had been able to repair and get working with their engineers, and were trying to use that to maybe manufacture some more. But you know that a lot of the tech to make that sort of to make these flying vehicles, most of that is scavenged tech. They don't actually have the capacity to build or manufacture those sorts of things from new, or just or to make the stuff that they need to actually make those fly. So you've seen a couple in the forest that were destroyed by Kong. I'd say with their numbers and stuff, they could maybe have 5 or 6 more. And Harbuck would collaborate on that then. He saw about 2 or 3. But you would gather they probably don't have. They probably have a handful more, and it's not something they have the capacity to manufacture an infinite amount of.
Well, those choppers they'll have a limited supply of. If we could take them down before they even get here, that stops any drops coming in airwise.
I mean, if we could scout ahead and get to them, it's kind of my whole thing.
Hit them at the production plant.
Can you teach me how to break them?
Yeah.
Harbuck thinks on that and says, "All right, yeah, if we could sabotage the ones they had. I mean, I don't know how these things work, but they've got to run on some kind of fuel, right? So they got to land at some point. And if we could get to them where they're landed, I'd guess over at Red Larch now, they're probably setting up to make their launching point for their next attack. Yeah, if you could take those things out, that's gonna save a lot of lives here. But that deals with the immediate threat. The bigger problem is just the numbers they have. We can put turrets up on 3 on every wall, get as many up as we can. But if they attack us with enough people and sort of cut off our supply lines, we can't last here for a full siege. Eventually, we're going to starve out. And I know y'all are capable, but I don't know if I feel right about killing hundreds of innocent people that have been sort of press ganged into this fight.
I think that we should do what we did before and go to the source. If we can take out the helicopters and figure out who the heck is in charge of this thing, take them out, figure out what they're doing, maybe we can fix it. It worked with the Black Earth.
I'd give Yorhad this too. You do know who the leader of the Eternal Flame is too. I don't know if you remember when I gave you the name way back.
Can go searching for it.
It's fine. I'll tell you. You could tell them the leader of the Eternal Flame is a tiefling named Vanifer. She is a very charismatic figure, but very sort of like intimidating. Kind of came in with her own sort of fighting force, but very quickly established relationships with all these bandit groups, established herself as the leader. She is the one that is currently in charge. Very powerful and feared by most of the other bandit groups. Actually, the ones that dissented, the bandit gangs that would not agree to join the Eternal Flame, their leaders were at Scarlet Moon Hall, where this bandit group has sort of maintained their base of operations. She basically burned them at the stake when they didn't agree to join.
Vanifer is, like me, a tiefling. Super charismatic, got a lot of the wayward tribes under her heel, either through bribing or threat. So that's who we look out for.
Stormbreaker says, but this is the strategy you used with the Earth cult, the Black Earth. Do you think this would be the same, where you disrupt wherever they're drawing this power from and the people would be freed?
This isn't something I've seen before, so I'll go on the assumption, take out the head, take out the body.
That seems to be a much better plan than us trying to fight an all-out war from here, I guess, especially against people that may be innocent in this. So I think this is a good plan. If you, Jazz, can help Arbok in building our defenses here, and then Thea and the others or whoever wishes to help can disable these Whirlybirds. That would give you the time to take out the leader.
Quick question for you, Stormbreaker. How much bleach is in the hold?
Bleach?
You pour bleach into the engine block, well, the fuel cans, and it corrodes some of the engine parts inside of it. Also, when they run, once the fuel is gone, it just runs on bleach, and all of a sudden they fall out of the sky, taking themselves out.
We have some bleaches we've used for scavenge for cleaning. I can gather as much as we have.
All right. Something. It's a little prank we used to play on the other tribes. Pour bleach into their fuel reserves and then watch their cars kind of sputter out.
It's all right. This could work. I leave it to you to deal with the details of this. I will make sure that we are prepared for the attack and prepared for a siege, and hopefully we can deal with this before it gets too bloody.
In terms of reducing the bloodiness, it's possible we could create some non-harmful turrets, use some very powerful goo shooters rather than more traditional defenses, and just incapacitate the attackers rather than harming them.
And you think that you could fire something like this from the walls, and
With the right launcher or shooter, and if we package the material properly, essentially make them, instead of water balloons, glue balloons.
all right, well, we could do that. I mean, I know a thing or two. We could probably build some catapults or trebuchets or something like that to get that sort of thing out. I do think having the option to do some damage would be good too, so maybe break those up with some artillery. And I'll start getting things ready for to disrupt siege tactics, and we'll get some deterrence up on the walls to hopefully keep people out in case they come in with ladders or start trying to scale the wall.
Deterrents. Anyway, go on.
Right. You know I like your jokes as much as anyone, Jonah. There's a time and a place for that.
Right.
All right. Sounds like we got a plan. Jazz, you're with me. We'll start getting ready with the artillery and the goo shooters. I don't like that. And and the rest of you start making a plan for infiltrating the Eternal Flames ranks and see if we can take that out. Just as soon as possible, our sabotage team should probably head out within the next 24 or 48 hours so we can get a jump on them before they launch their next assault.
I'm gonna need a lot of spray paint.
Got that in the workshop. Do know we have that. All right. He stands up, kind of wincing as his arm moves, and heads out the door.
Yorha's plan is to paint the truck in Fire Cult colors,
Okay.
just so they can drive in, hopefully undetected.
Okay. Yeah. So you want to
paint flames on it to make it go faster.
Yeah, paint flames on it to make it go faster. Yeah, you want to disguise the truck and I assuming yourselves to kind of pass as fire cultists. All right, who's going to be going? So, I think the way this will probably break down is we'll probably do this at the same time while the sabotage is going. We'll also be doing the construction back at the at Summit Hall. So, who wants to go with sabotage team? Who wants to stay back and make preparations? Or if you all want to go on sabotage team, then if Jazz wants to set up some things, he can go too, or they can go too.
I'm team sabotage.
Team Sabo.
Yeah, I kind of want to be in sabotage too.
Okay. Like I said, if everyone wants to go, we can turn this into the full thing, and I can do some hand waving with the construction.
You want to do? I mean, I'm not going to tell you to put your goo guns in the hands of someone else.
I can write up the recipes, draw some blueprints, and leave it to those capable of deciphering such things to man the construction.
Cool. So, whatever. I'm with you.
Yeah, we don't want to end up with a sticky situation.
A...
Hey.
All right.
Is this going to be goo in 60 seconds? No, not like that. No, like cars. Cars.
You know
Obvious
everyone
joke.
is gonna take it like that.
I didn't until it was already 75% out of my mouth. So, like, it was too late.
The obvious joke is
that's
it's slime
what she said.
time.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my
Ultra.
god.
Yeah.
Gack.
Gag.
Just
Gross.
So that's gonna be our session for tonight. Thanks everyone for
That's
watching.
fair. That's
Hey,
fair.
yeah. Yep.
That's on me. I'm sorry.
And
No,
my
no.
suffering.
We can do this. Okay, I'm gonna have. Let's just do a single roll then for Jazz to design these. Can we come up with a better name than
No.
Gack attack.
Gack
Gatlin guns?
cannons.
Gatling guns.
Gackling guns?
Oh my-
guns.
Gackling guns. I like that a lot.
I knew there's a diamond there
You
somewhere.
did it.
Okay, so if we're gonna be going with Gackling guns, because Gack is Nickelodeon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna say that it gets made from some ancient TV studio. They've salvaged the old like orange and green Nickelodeon. I think I don't know. Well, we're going with it. If it's not,
Slime.
No.
Yeah, it was Nickelodeon.
No,
Slime was and Gack. Gack was.
The
Yeah.
Gack was.
You
There's.
guys are probably right.
I had an orange colored Gack that was just for incomprehensibly scented to be like hot dogs.
Ew.
What?
wait,
And
Hot dog scented Gack.
wait.
Oh.
It's a real
They could
thing.
have scented
You guys are
it.
No, I
right. It was.
believe you.
It was Nickelodeon.
They scented it with hot dogs.
Hot dog. I have to look at. And by the way,
Grody as
no one liked that.
Why? Just because you can doesn't mean you
Ah.
should.
I'm more concerned it was unintentional and that some stuff that goes into hot dogs also goes into
Also
Gack.
goes into-
Oh,
hot dog
no.
water just goes into the gack.
They're like, well,
There-
we got to move this material somehow.
There
Let's
was
sell
one
it to kids.
Oh my god, they smelled like the beach and
Oh,
suntan
this is-
lotion and
I think-
popcorn
But you got
Okay.
hot dogs.
and garbage.
Let's see
Like,
if I can
I,
find
okay, you know what? The beach, I get it. Popcorn, all right.
it. Oh
Hot
Yeah.
dogs.
Here I found it doesn't have the.
I need to.
Yeah,
We
in
need
it.
to say we've got a game to play, but I have to know before we.
All right. Well, this is the packaging for it, but I need to find the. It's a yeah.
Oh, there was
Smell
a lot
my
of gack.
gack.
There's a lot of them.
Really, Nickelodeon?
Grody.
No, I'm turning off this stream if anyone says anything remotely like that ever again.
There was also Stinky Shoe.
Ew.
I'm not kidding.
Oh,
The
so this is like
90s
this
were
is like
wild.
this is like
Ew.
Harry Potter booger jelly beans or something like that.
I was
Is
about
that
to say,
kinda
yeah,
like the
Bertie
same
Bott's and
vibe?
Fleur Beans.
Yeah.
But-
Anyway.
What was happening in the 90s? What was in the water?
No, gack.
Gack, yeah. Well, it was all toys to be as like gross as possible.
I
Like
know. God. Okay. All right.
Oh,
we're
that's
getting-
true. Everything grossness was like
Yeah, the 90s and early 2000s was
That was
just
the
like,
vibe.
Like,
as
like, how
nasty as
gross can you
possible.
get?
How nasty can we be? Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
reason
alright.
we're all nasty now.
that does explain a lot.
Trash
Why
pail
I am
kids.
the way I am.
Okay.
All right.
Enough of the gack. We're getting back on track.
Construct
Gackety
Gatling
yak.
guns.
They'll come back.
All right.
All of you are fired after this episode.
All right, let's go ahead and roll for the Gackling gun creation. Because we are sticking with that name because I love it. I think, given the time constraints, I think the actual like mechanics of constructing this aren't terribly difficult. It's mostly a matter of like launching these projectiles in a way that's efficient, that'll disperse the material so you'll be able to cover as wide of area as possible. But also doing this like as quickly as possible because you're on a time crunch. So I'm going to put this at a 6, a task beyond the abilities of most normal people. So you have training in this is more of a mechanical creation.
I
was
do
assuming.
have, if I'm helping with this, I do have a thing, mechanics. That's one of my skills.
Okay, so
Or what are they called? Is it skills? Yeah. Yeah, mechanic is one of my skills that I chose.
okay,
So I can
so
help.
Jonah could provide an asset for that too.
And then
I too have mechanic as trained.
Okay, those could be 2 assets then. If you the 3 of you want to
So-
collaborate on that.
yeah, down to 4. Don't think any of my specialized skills would come in handy here unless identifying device.
Nah, probably not.
Yeah, but I've got training in something relevant here. So that brings it to a 3.
Okay.
I'm assuming this will be intelligence.
Yes, it will be intelligence.
Could bring it down to a 2. I could also use my Mojo Juice cipher and just make it a success at this point.
Yeah.
And therefore free myself up for another cipher.
Yeah, if you want to do that, you can do that.
So yeah, I think we'll do that. So with all that, and then I think the Mojo Juice actually becomes like the prototype of the GAC. And it's like, I probably should not have consumed this, but my consciousness is expanded now. Let's do
Yeah.
this.
You were able to like pour it into your fuel lines, and then after
It's-
doing that, consider this substance would actually be perfect for this, and are able to come up with a manufacturer. So one, you come up with a formula for actually like creating this substance, and then you design a pretty easy prototype of how to most effectively launch this. Coming up with it because we're going with Gackling gun, so I imagine quick succession, so it'd be like smaller cartridges that are fired out in like a quick volley to cover a wide area before having to reload it. Is kind of what I was thinking, unless you had something else in mind.
Yeah, I think that'll work. And I think now that we're in this format, I'm assuming the sabotage team will be successful, but also, could gum up the works of a helicopter if need be. Probably not as good at as stopping, people on the ground, but
Yeah, well, it does give an option, and then you also well, here's my question. So this would free up some time. So you've come up with this idea for the Gackling gun, and then the other idea was to have some more like artillery on the tower. You do have the launcher that is on top of your truck right now. If you would be willing to give that up for this mission so that the engineers can attempt to replicate this device and be able to examine it while y'all are on your mission, then that would speed up the process there. Um,
I think
So-
that's reasonable because we don't expect to fail sabotage missions, so we shouldn't need to, rely on the turret. And, if success or failure comes down to the turret on Trucky McTruckface, we have gone horribly wrong.
yeah, that is true. Okay, so if y'all go with that, they quickly disassemble or at least remove it from its mounting on top of the truck, so they can try to mass produce a couple more while y'all are gone. So that is all taken care of. You're going to disguise the truck by painting flames on it. Is there anything else you wanted to do as far as creating this disguise?
Yorha draws a skull decal, plops it on the hood, spray paints over it in white over the flames, and then just rips it away.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
And then everyone else is disguised. Like, I assume you were a member of this group for a while. You can pull out some, suggestions and stuff for how everyone should dress and behave while they are undercover.
In all honesty, silence is actually bad. Whooping and hollering, hell yeah.
Would you like us to practice now?
You know what? Let's workshop it. Go for it, Jazzy.
Ooh.
You know what? It's something.
Okay. You all practice your whooping for a while until everyone gets really tired of it and tells you to leave. You all gather, climb into the truck, disguised, looking grungy and smearing some like paint and motor oil and shit on your face, trying to seem as dirty bandits as possible.
I cover my shell in chrome paint.
Okay.
Chrome
That's
dome.
healthy.
Perfect.
The Warforged isn't named Chrome Dome, it's shellac.
You all climb in the truck and begin tearing off through the waste, trying to get there as quickly as possible to accomplish your mission. Yeah, I think we'll go. We'll do the mission here today because I think we can get through this fairly quickly. And if it looks like it's going to take too long, then we'll deal with it next time. The travel across the waste is pretty uneventful. I mean, if anything, this is probably the smoothest drive that you've had in a long time. Most of the other cults being gone, a lot of the danger that was out here before also gone with them. The one efficient point of the cult of the Eternal Flame is they are all sort of centralized at this point, so you know where the threat is as you head towards Red Larch. You arrive within or eye shot of the city or of the town as the sun is beginning to set. For the most part, the silhouette of it looks the same, except even with the sun setting, the area around the settlement is bright. There are already dozens of bonfires that have been lit around the outskirts of the city, and there are torches that are hanging and lanterns hanging from the walls, smoke and flame rising up from the settlement itself as the cult has very clearly made their home here already. You also notice that there are some very large trucks, like 18-wheeler transports, except with like the tops of the cargo area that have been like cleaved off, so they can kind of just pile anything they're scavenging inside. And you see what they seem to be doing is disassembling the walls, the scaffolding, the anything metal from inside the town is being piled up inside these trucks, seeming to be transported back to Scarlet Moon Hall. And you do see, as you approach, currently dead, not none of them in the air, but parked, landed outside of the city. You see 4 of these helicopters, all within sort of a landing area that has been cleared out from the rest of the settlement. But the members of the Eternal Flame, these bandits, have very clearly kind of all built their little campsites around this area. And there are, as Harbuck said, a lot of them. Most seem to be bandits, as you have seen them, Yorha. You catch the insignias of a lot of these gangs that have been sort of brought into the Eternal Flame. But there's also a lot that don't appear to be with the bandits as well. All members of the Eternal Flame, it looks like, wearing the same kind of bright light crimson clothing and rags and stuff. Everyone's wearing some form of red as representation of them belonging to this group. But a lot look just like townsfolk that have been, they're not chained up or captured in any way. They're acting just like all the other bandits. But their campfires are mixed in amongst the other groups.
Well, so far so good.
As you approach, your vehicle kind of coming in at an angle towards this encampment and towards the city, you see 2 other vehicles that have been kind of parked like outside at the furthest reaches of the town. Their headlights flash on, and they begin to race towards you, causing you to panic for a moment as you're concerned that they might make an attack. But you don't see them as they approach making any sign that they are going to launch any assault against you at this point. They just seem to be kind of heading you off and connecting with your group, eventually kind of causing you to slow and come to a stop as they come up close, and also come to a stop, one kind of at an angle with the front bumper of your truck, another parking behind it. And one of them sort of climbs out and climbs up on top of the hood, kind of peering over towards your vehicle. They are very clearly one of these bandit groups. Also has a big some sort of like spray painted decal on the front of a scorpion, and they sort of look the 4 of you or the 5 of you over and call out towards the person driving right now, which I'm assuming is either Jazz or Jonah. Who's driving? I guess I should ask, because it's not Thea right now.
Jazz is in my lap, I think, probably for this. Just kidding. No, Jazz is driving for sure.
Calls out towards the driver, but anyone can respond. Says, "Coming back from a patrol?"
Yorha will wheel down his side window and just sit on the door as he kind of hails them back. Yeah, we were patrolling up by Stormhold.
What'd you find?
Whole lot of nothing. Looks like they're cowering.
Group went back that way. Ran off yesterday. You catch up with them?
Just barely. They got in before we could do anything about it.
Yeah. Useless. All right, who you reporting to?
What was the shit?
You can make up a name from your backstory if you want to.
We'll go with God, where's that document? Anderson. God.
Mr. Anderson.
Anderson. Reporting to the Vainglories.
Which one?
Oh boy. Let's say
The ugly one.
they're all pretty ugly. Vincent, who I'll say was the head when Yorha was the head, or was in the group.
Okay. I haven't done enough intrusions this session. I'm going to offer an intrusion here. That they have a sort of the scowl deepens, and he says, "Vincent, huh? Vincent's dead." So, if you want to accept the intrusion, you can, or we can retcon that, and you can spend an XP to reject it.
I'm gonna spend an XP to reject it.
Okay.
Dead as your car battery. Fuck off.
I'm just fucking with you. All right. Head on in then. Vainglory's posted up near the northern gate. Just be ready. We're heading out early tomorrow.
Yorha slams his hand twice on the hood of the car and gives them the middle finger as they drive by.
Everyone in the car does the same as you do that, and then they drive off, whooping and hollering as they head back to their post.
Is this Vincent going to be thrilled to see you, or I assume we're not even going to go anywhere near this Vincent?
No, he would kill me on sight. As much as I want to check in on the others, we've got a job to do.
All right. You take the car kind of towards the northern gate, but you stop short before you get to the Vainglory encampment. Cutting the engine just outside of a few campfires and some tents that have been set up. But still probably about 100 yards off or so from the closest chopper. You don't gather you're going to be able... Most of the vehicles are kind of parked along the perimeter to form a kind of a barricade against any possible attacks. So any further advancement's going to have to be on foot.
All right. Stealthy bunch, do your magic.
Oh yeah, sneaky.
Okay, so who's sneaking in?
I'm trained in hiding and sneaking.
Okay. Two of you go ahead and roll.
Bunch.
It is... I'm giving the advantage of saying it's night, so it's going to reduce the difficulty. I'm going to put this at a 4. So you're both trained, so that'll reduce it, and then you can spend any effort that you want.
Okay. What is it? What would it be under? Would it be speed?
Yes, this would be a speed roll.
Okay. Would being trained in no, never mind. That doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
if you're trained in sneaking, you said
It's sneaking and hiding, but I was going to ask something else, and then I realized it didn't make any sense.
okay. Cool.
I'm gonna spend effort to bring it down to a 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that as well. I have 2 effort and then 2 edge and speed.
Okay.
Do I want to do one more level of effort? Nope, I'm just gonna do it.
All right. So both of you bringing it down to a 2 with effort. So I roll a 6 or higher.
I rolled a 7.
Oof. I rolled a 5. Get out of town. Get out.
You can
Those are bad
spend
rolls.
XP to reroll.
You can spend an XP to reroll if you want.
Oh, I don't. I have 1 XP.
Oh, did I not? Sorry. Y'all should have gotten 2 XP at the beginning of the session. I don't think I said that, did I?
Mm-mm.
Whoops.
Lovely.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and use 1 and reroll. At the 10. Hey.
Okay. It's passable. All right. The 2 of you, with the advantage of being in this gear, kind of disguising yourselves as members of this cult. However, wanting to stay out of sight, not wanting to draw any attention. This is more of like a social stealth task, but kind of conducting yourselves and moving in a way that you're not going to draw attention. You reach the first of these helicopters, and there's no patrol here right now, but you do see like there are a couple of like guards that are kind of walking off in the distance that seem to be kind of moving along this like little strip of landing pads here for these vehicles. There's also like a fuel truck that's parked nearby that they seem to be using to refuel these helicopters with. So you're there. I'm gonna assume you brought the bleach with you if you're gonna be going with that plan. Are you just filling the or dumping bleach into the fuel line, or are you doing anything else?
I mean, I don't. Go ahead.
I want to like just while we're in there, just like cut some wires that seem important. I have a knife.
That's fair.
Probably
Okay.
find something underneath there.
Okay. So you're not really trying to identify what you're cutting. You're just cutting something.
Yep.
Okay.
I think Shellac is like, I don't know if that's a good idea, or like, oh no, ask Thea like, do you know what you're doing?
Yeah, totally.
As he's like pouring. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Yorha showed
All
me
right.
how to do it. Cut.
Oh.
Cut. Total lie.
He like Shellac knows it's a complete lie. He's just like, all right, whatever. Like, he's just gonna keep pouring bleach in the fuel tanks.
Okay. The 2 of you start on that. While the 2 of you are doing that, I'm going to offer an intrusion to I think this is going to be to Jonah.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay.
No,
Don't even have to know.
no, go for it.
One of the bandits that are like nearest you, one of those near the fires, kind of looked up a couple times at your car here, where you and Jazz and Yorha are currently waiting. And he's looked up a few times. He's even kind of nudged one of his the guys he's sitting next to and gestures towards the car, kind of where towards Jonah is sitting. And then the 2 of them finally, after a couple of minutes after Thea and Shellac have been gone, get up and come close to the car. And one of them moves in, pretty like gnarly like scars across his face. And he leans in over to the window that you're sitting next to, Jonah, says, "Do I know you?"
I ain't your daddy, kid.
Funny. I killed my daddy. Who are you? I recognize you.
Well, how would you tell me who I am?
I don't see.
My name
You-
tag. I don't see your name tag.
He looks over towards the car. He says, "You run with the Vanguards?"
That's right. This run, anyway.
We fought sometime.
I don't know. You're forgettable. I'm sorry to be the first to tell you that.
Wait a second. I know where you're from. I recognize that eye patch. You ran with the law, didn't you?
Shh.
Y'all ambushed me and some of my boys a few years ago.
We all have a past, son.
So you just gave that all up, huh?
We all give things up in this world. I'm not having this conversation with you. What do you want? What do you want from me?
You hear the click of a you hear the click of a gun as he pulls a pistol from his side, kind of presses up against the side of the door and says, "I want you to step out and we're going to finish our business here."
You sure that's what you want?
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Well, Jazz, you hear that? He's pretty sure.
Well, if he's pretty sure, then I'm pretty sure he's going to die. If you ask him to step out of this vehicle, I can assure you, at the very least, you will end up with a broken limb or 4, and be in an immense amount of pain, and have to miss out on all the fun tomorrow. Now, is that something you want to do, or do you just want to go back to your fire, sit down, and have your drinks?
Let's do this as a little social roll then, a little bit of intimidation.
I am trained in intimidation.
Oh boy.
Hey!
Jonah would be an asset to this roll too. I assume Jonah doesn't want to be the one making this roll. That's why Jazz.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was, but yeah. There's also is there like guns on this truck?
We had the turret, but they took the turret
They
off.
took
Yeah,
the
no,
build,
we
the
don't
difference.
have that anymore. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, other than the guns that y'all are carrying or
Okay,
the weapons
never
y'all
mind,
are
never mind.
carrying,
We still have like the extendo spikes from the side, but
you do,
Yeah.
which he's pretty near right now
Yeah.
too.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
well, unless
I'll just add it as like, walk away before you don't have the option to.
I think so. I either one of you can make an intimidation check.
You do it because you're skilled in it, but I don't know if I have anything to help.
You just like your actions in the scene are enough to add an asset to this. So just Jonah's contributions is going to make this a little bit easier for Jazz.
Okay.
So this isn't going to be that hard. I'm gonna put this at a.
I have a bag of tools. I will beat him with this bag of tools if he does not.
This is only going to be a 3 difficulty.
And what role is this?
This would be
Intellect,
an intellect. Is
Okay, that's very good because I've got lots of intellect edge, so I'll spend some effort. So was a 3. Intimidation training brings it down to a 2. You know what? I'll spend 2 effort and make it a success.
Okay, now you can do that. There's the moment of like a tense. Oh, by the way, so you got 1 XP, Jonah. You can give 1 XP to someone else too.
Cool. I'll give it to Jazz for.
Okay. There's a moment of like this tense eye contact, kind of looking between you and Jazz, and then you hear the click as he disengages the hammer and pulls the gun back. Fine. Bygones be bygones then. Looking forward to killing some of your friends tomorrow. takes a step back from the car before he turns and heads back to the fire.
That one's got a bad attitude.
From the back seat, Yorha just pushes his way to the front. You know, you two would make excellent bandits.
Well, then it's a good thing for the land that I have not put my efforts in that direction.
No, seriously, you'd be like scary successful.
I know.
I love that. Okay, I think, yeah, Jazz say I know. I think that unsettles Jonah just a little bit. Like, like it's just
True neutral.
just one little switch, like, and they,
Oh, I could kill people for a living.
I could kill people for a living. That'd be great. Let's do it.
Okay, so heading back to the sabotage team, you've gotten through 3 of the 4 helicopters, following the same routine, pouring bleach in the fuel line, cutting any wires that you can find. And when you make it to finish up with the 3rd one, I will offer this intrusion to. I'm going to offer to. Have I given either one of you an intrusion between Jonah or Shellac and Thea? Yeah, I don't think either one of you have gotten today. I will give it to Thea, or I will initially offer it to her, and you can give an XP to whoever you want. That as you are going to the 4th one, that patrol group that you'd seen that were kind of watching this like airfield is circling back around, and you realize you're not sure if you're going to be able to make it to the fourth one before they come back. Do you want to accept the intrusion, or do you want to reject it?
I'm gonna. Nope, I'm gonna spend an XP to reject it.
All
I
right.
want to do all of them.
Bunch of buzzkills sit. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. You guys are perfectly within your right to do that. So as they turn around to come back, there's this moment like your heart seizes where you realize, oh shit, we might not be able to finish this. And then you see somebody come jogging over from the camp, and the 3 of them get caught in a conversation while and kind of turning their attention away from you for a second, giving the 2 of you enough time to race over to that, follow the same process before ducking down beneath the vehicle and waiting for the patrol to fully pass, and then sneaking back out and regrouping with your team. The 2 of you climbing back into the truck quietly where everybody else is waiting.
Done.
Oh, who are you giving your other XP to?
Oh, Shelly.
Okay.
Oh no, wait, no. I don't give him an XP. I spent one.
Oh, you rejected it. Sorry. Stupid. All right.
Rules are hard.
Rules are hard. So you're all back in the truck now.
We're done.
Any problems?
No.
Good. I'm gonna get some shut eye. I'm just kind of. I don't have a hat, but I metaphorically pull the hat over my eyes and just lean back in the seat and nap because it's night.
We
Pull
eyed
down
up
the
for-
second eye patch.
I just move it to my good eye, then I'm done.
Let's idle here for about an hour. It'll look suspicious if we drive in and then immediately drive out.
Okay. So you stay there for a bit, waiting. No alarms seem to be sound. You're not bothered by anyone else. Get a couple glances from people over by the campfire, but they don't approach again.
Jazz will just stare unblinkingly at anyone who looks at them because Jazz don't need to blink.
Yeah. And then after an hour passes, you finally rev the engine again, pull U-turn, and head back out into the wastes, leaving the fires and the impending threat of the Cult of the Eternal Flame behind you, while you steel yourselves and prepare for your confrontation against the leader of the cult, Vanifer. And that's where we'll end our session for tonight. Good game, everyone. So, like I was saying, I think we talked about this a bit at the break as a group, but I think probably 2 more sessions is what I'm anticipating. Maybe 3, depending on how it goes. But we're definitely just streaming right towards the end here. So I'm very excited to see how this turns out with all of the alterations I've made to this campaign. It should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So in the meantime, those of you out there watching, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Our next stream will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. We're playing Monster of the Week. Savannah runs that. Come hang out with us there. Otherwise, our full schedule this week will be the same as it usually is, or as it says on our schedule over on Twitch. So check that out, and you can see everything that we've got going on. We've got Call of Cthulhu. We've got, I believe, some D&D on Thursday, and some more Cypher System next Friday. And then we'll also, I'll plug one more time, we'll probably be having our finale of Season 1 of Saturday Night Star Power next week. So come hang out with us for that. It should be emotional and cathartic and a good, fun, not traumatizing time. Yeah. Anyone want to plug anything before we get gone? No? All right. Thank you once again to everyone out there watching, and thank you to my lovely players for being here and making this fun and exciting and putting golf into my games. We will see everyone here in 2 weeks, and until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Searching for a new